What's going on, guys? 24/7 Tech here, and the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 7390, so that's the 2019 one, just came out yesterday, and it's on sale today. You can buy it from Dell's website and everything. But first of all, it's an amazing computer. It's the best XPS I've seen in such a long time. So in this video, I'm going to talk about its new feature set, the pros, cons, and my overall standpoint on whether you should buy it or not.
As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch some more awesome tech videos in the future.
In the clip before, guys, take 1 second out of this video, subscribe down below. Every subscriber makes a difference. Well, what's new about the Dell XPS 13 2-in-1 7390? So first of all, this is the first update we've gotten from in the 2-in-1 market for XPS 13 since about 2.5 years. So Dell is making a huge redesign. We have 10th generation quad-core CPUs in this laptop, the first on any any laptop that I've seen yet. The second one is finally for the XPS 13 lineup, there are integrated Iris Plus graphics. Now there's a catch to it. There's UHD graphics for the more entry-level and mid-range models. You have to upgrade to the higher-end i7 16 gigs of RAM specifications to get to the Iris Plus graphics. That's sort of a bummer, especially since the MacBook Pro, even the base model, comes with an Iris Plus graphics 645 GPU. But it is nice that Dell's at least giving you the option if you wanted to upgrade to a higher GPU. The touch display is standard on any 2-in-1, it's sort of what you expect. There's also a 4K option, which looks amazing, but the battery life is bad, so I really wouldn't recommend buying that. There's also a new maglev keyboard. It's like the butterfly keyboard with a little more travel. It feels better than the butterfly keyboard, don't get me wrong. It doesn't feel mushy like the butterfly keyboard, but it is much shallower than the XPS 13's normal keys like you've seen before, like a traditional keyboard. But I like it. It's a sleek look, and now the keyboard also stretches to the edges, and the display also, the webcam's on the top bezel, as you can see right there. And there's no Dell logo on the bottom, so the bezels are much thinner on the bottom. What are some pros, what are some advantages that you get with buying this machine? First of all, no laptop that I've seen yet today has a 10th generation CPU. As you can see, they've got i3, i5, and i7 models in their options that you can see right here. That's amazing. The 10th generation quad-core CPUs, it's the first time I'm seeing them on a laptop. But as you can see, the XPS 13 and the MacBook Pro are both still on 8th gen CPUs. So this is light years ahead of both those computers. Second one, since it is a 2-in-1, you do get a standard touch display, which in some computers like the normal XPS 13 is an extra cost. You have to factor in that it's not just a 2-in-1, you're also getting a touch display, which you have to upgrade for in the XPS 13. The design itself looks much cleaner. The trackpad, the keyboard stretches to the edges. There's no Dell logo. The bezels are much thinner too now. Then it's a really nice screen as well, as I said before. And they fit the webcam on the top just like the XPS 13 did a couple of months ago. But my favorite feature of this new XPS 13 2-in-1 is a 16:10 aspect ratio. As you can see, we have the Surface laptop here with a 3:2 aspect ratio. And then you have the XPS 13, the normal one, non-2-in-1 with a 16:9. This one is sort of in the middle with the 16:10 aspect ratio, which goes just in line with the MacBook Pro series, which also has a 16:10 aspect ratio, which is really good for media consumption. And the 16:9 aspect ratio is really getting old. It's a really wide screen. Many more people are preferring taller screens, and I'm a whole supporter of that as well. Every laptop has a few things that I don't like, and with the whole redesign of this computer, don't get me wrong, most of it's amazing, but there are a little bit of shortcomings in this computer. The price is one of them. It comes in at $13.99 for an 8GB of RAM, 256GB of SSD, and a quad-core Intel Core i5 processor with UHD graphics 620. Now, first of all, that's not that bad of a price, but if you factor in that the normal XPS 13 is giving you most of those specs except for the 10th gen CPU for $11.99, this is sort of a price jump, $200. It's not too bad, but it is something that you have to keep in mind. The next one, the one that I don't like a lot, is the Iris Plus graphics has to be upgraded to the i7 models to get that. And to get that, you have to be spending much north of $1,500. Whereas with the MacBook Pro, as you can see right there, for the $1299 base model, it has an Iris Plus graphics 645 GPU. And the color options, the white model, as you can see right there, which looks amazing, don't get me wrong. One, it's a $50 addition to the price, and you have to upgrade to the higher end models, a minimum of an i5 processor or higher to get that. And honestly, Dell, you gotta stop doing that, man. If people want the baseline model, they should be able to get that color option for no added cost and with the base model. I think it's really bad that they're doing this. And Apple, credit to you where credit's deserved. It's amazing that they have the silver and space gray options standard with the base model as well. Overall, my impressions on this, it's an awesome computer. It's got a great feature set. Price tag's a little high, but I think it's okay for the amazing amount of features that it's offering. And if the price tag is a little too much for you, $1,400, back to school sales are in full swing now. It's August, it's the time to buy a new laptop. So if you keep track of any discounts that you see, comment down below if you find any discounts so everybody else can see them as well. The XPS 13, this is the one model in a long time that's really appealed to me. Like, of course, the other XPS 13s are amazing, but this one just has the other ring, the feature set, the design, really appeals to me, and I think it appeals to a lot of people. It's an amazing computer. Go buy it. It's much better than the normal XPS 13. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe down below. Every subscriber makes a difference, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.